Over cordial, you're welcome indeed to another edition of the programme. Well, this week we're coming to you from the Mansion House in Dublin for a very, very special event, and that is the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation 30th Anniversary Gala Ball. It promises to be a fantastic evening, and we'll be meeting many of the guests that are coming to it. But first, we want to take you to Claremorris, where a very special event was held there for all the volunteers in the McWilliam Park Hotel. Here's our report.
So today is our 30th anniversary celebrations with our volunteers and support groups and fundraisers from around Mayo and Roscommon and beyond. And in particular our past board members as well. It's great to have so many of them here today and hear of where the foundation started from. And I think what we try to do as custodians of the foundation is honour and respect the foundations that they laid for us and then continue to grow the service.
When we started off 30 years ago, there was no support groups. We had to start off going to every town and village in both counties to get support groups up and running. But that was a double reason. A, to raise funds, but B, to spread the awareness of hospice. And that awareness became such a reality that everybody wanted to support hospice, and hospice is today based on all of the support groups and the people of both Mayo and Roscommon.
Well, we greet the visitors of the patients when they come in, and then we contact the nurses to see, is it okay to send them on down to their rooms, or if the nurse may be with them at the present time, just ask them to wait a few moments and sit down and relax. Through COVID times, of course, we had all the signing in. We don't have that anymore, so thankfully that's passed by.
My name is Anne Gallagher, and I'm manager of the hospice shop in Balmullet. I've been in the hospice shop. Our anniversary was just a few weeks ago. We're 5 years opened. It's a great place to work. Really love it. We have a lot of volunteers. They're brilliant, and the customers are fantastic. And when you think of the clothes that's dropped up at our back door or front door and donated, it's these clothes that make a difference to someone.
About 25 years, my dad would have availed somewhat of palliative care. It was very much in its infancy at the time, but we did meet the doctors and the palliative care team, but sadly he didn't last only 4 months from diagnosis to death. So from then on, my siblings and good close family and friends started to do a collection in our area to support the work that hospice does. So 14 years ago then, in Castlerea, we opened a hospice shop. Now, I had availed of donating clothes to the Swinford shop years before that, but our shop opened in Castlerea, and from then on, I started to go in every Thursday to volunteer, and we have a wonderful team, great fun, great camaraderie every week, and more if I'm needed, if needed to stand in.
When the Hospice Foundation was first organised, we set up meetings in Ballygreen to form a support group, and I became a member of that support group, and we decided that we would do a patronage every year instead of tickets and all that. So I done my own area, and we got volunteers to do all the other areas, and it just sort of took off from there, and one year came into another, and we had walks, and we had sunflower day, and we've coffee mornings and all those kind of things, and we do Since for Hospice, and everything amounted. And when I saw the wonderful work that the hospice were doing with what they were getting, and everything that they got was used locally, and I've seen plenty experience of what it's been used for. So I just, one year went into another, and I'm still here today doing what I can, and I hope to be able to continue for a few more years. And I have a wonderful support group, volunteers who are always willing and ready. All you do is ring them up and say, this thing is happening, that thing is happening, and they really are fantastic. And I feel privileged to be part of Mayo Roscommon Hospice. And then when the 2 hospices were opened, that really was something else. And the feedback that we've got from patients who have received care in those and who have received the palliative care in homes and in hospitals before that is just absolutely incredible.
The Roscommon Hospice has been a real partnership between Roscommon University Hospital and Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation. It's a very proud day. We're very proud, very emotional to have it up and running now, but it's also a huge relief. This has been the work of many years. When the foundation started first to fund, support and develop palliative care services in the community, and then of course have a hospice in each county. And I am so delighted for the people of Roscommon that they now have their own hospice inpatient unit.
Here in the unit we have 8 inpatient beds. Patients and their families will have access to a range of specialist medical and nursing care, and also to a range of health and social care professionals including physiotherapy, occupational therapy, medical social work, speech and language, dietetics and pastoral care. The community palliative home care team are also based here in the unit, and they will be working closely with the inpatient care team. We are especially grateful to Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation for their ongoing financial support, which allows us to deliver seamless palliative care for patients in the Roscommon region.
So as well as our inpatient unit and a respite room, we also have a child therapy room, which is really important. We are really eager to develop children and young adult services, especially for people with life-limiting illnesses. But it will provide a vital service to the children of patients in this unit. Our family therapist, Laura, will also work from there to provide one-on-one sessions and group sessions. So it's a really important service.
It's our 30th year since the start of the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation, and this is our 2nd hospice in the last 5 years to be built, and it is built mainly because of the public funding from our volunteers or support groups within the county, and they have been tremendous. They have ran, walked, swam, walked back, was either here, jumped on 1 leg, 2 legs, cycled, climbed mountains and raised millions for us. And we're very proud to say that our hospice today is completely and totally debt-free. We're delighted to have a relationship with Roscommon University Hospital. They have been absolutely extraordinary to work with, and we are so lucky to have Mary Garvey and her team for the last 4 years working together with us.
Martine, lovely to see you here at the Mansion House in Dublin for this very, very special occasion. 30 years of Mayo Roscommon Hospice. It's going to be a fantastic night.
Oh, it's going to be a great night, and it's so great to have you here, Henry, again. I just think 30 years of this foundation and all it's achieved needs to be celebrated. And traditionally there was a Dublin Ball long before I joined, and before a recession hit Ireland they had a Dublin Ball every year. And for a long time the board and a lot of our supporters had asked us to bring back the Dublin Ball. So we did. We brought it back to celebrate our 30 years, and it's a great fundraising night tonight, but also a great night for people to get together from Mayo and Roscommon that are working here in Dublin and support and celebrate Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation.
And you have a great lineup of entertainment tonight as well, Martina.
We have a fantastic lineup tonight. We have our MC is Barry Murphy, would be known from Après Match. We have Liam O'Connor, the world-renowned accordion player, and his family playing tonight. And of course we have the All-Ireland winning Flack-Yole Pipers Cross Band, and we are so proud that they're going to open the show here tonight.
Fantastic. And you have also a fantastic ballet group, the Kilkennys.
We have the Kilkennys, and they're a really talented ballet group, proper Irish folk music, and are definitely going to keep the room on their floor.
Yeah. Now, you also, as you said, it's a big fundraising night. You have a fantastic auction, which I know everybody's excited about here tonight.
Yes, we have a great auction tonight, and again the Mayo connection with our top item in the auction is Nigel O'Reilly, the world the world-renowned now jewellery designer, and he has donated the most beautiful Lily of the Sea pearl ring. So we're looking forward to seeing who's going to purchase that tonight and who will be going home with that in their bag. We also have artists from Roscommon and Mayo. We've Chris Harper from Mayo, who has been a long time supporter of hospice, and Vera Gaffney in Roscommon. We have Ashford Castle have donated, Loch Esk have donated. We've had anonymous donations of Man United tickets, and so many people have got behind tonight and sponsored it quietly without wanting their name in lights or anything. They did it because they know the work of the foundation and how important it is. And I can't forget Grace O'Malley, Whiskey and Gin are here tonight, another great Mayo story, and have sponsored our drinks reception here tonight.
Do you get very emotional when you hear some of the stories, Martina, and see it firsthand what's happening to people?
Oh yeah, if the day I don't get emotion is the day I won't be doing this job. It can be. I suppose I'm inspired by the people that have gone through real loss and a journey of a life-limiting illness that absolutely changes their lives. And then you meet them and they want to give back to the hospice and to the palliative care service, and I really am inspired by them. But yes, there are many emotional moments where you just have to go into the office and close the door and take a few moments. But I think the day that doesn't happen is the day I shouldn't be doing the job.
And just on that point, how long more do you see yourself as CEO of the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation, do you think?
Well, we have more to do, and I have made a vow now that there is a real gap in services in the west of Ireland for children and young adults with life-limiting illnesses, and my work won't be done until that gap is filled, and we have big plans to fill that gap. So maybe another few years, but until that's done, I'm going nowhere.
First of all, congratulations on your 30 years and continued success in the future.
Thanks, Henry, and thanks for all your support.
We're very proud and we're very happy to bring the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation to the Mansion House.
Now, I know that there's been a lot of ongoing fundraising for the Mayo Roscommon Hospice, both in Mayo and Roscommon, and a great success story in Roscommon as well, more recently when you opened there.
Absolutely, and that was, as a Roscommon man, it was very moving that we opened it. Going back, I suppose, the history of the hospice, we opened Mayo, and within 4 years we had Roscommon opened, which was a fantastic achievement, and it's a great achievement for our volunteers, our supporters, our major donors in both counties. And it was fantastic to be a Roscommon, as I said, and to be chair at the time of its opening. It was really a very proud day and an emotional day.
And also it's I've learned that it's actually debt free, so much so that the people have come on board with donations and everything for it.
The people have come on board for the last 30 years. There has been nothing tangible in both Roscommon and Mayo to see where the money was going until 2012, when we bought our first site in Castlebar, and that was the first time that people seen, well, there is something here. We've built 2 hospices at a cost of 16.3 million, and as of today we have no debt, no bank loans, and it's a fantastic place to be.
Now, people begin to arrive here for the ball. Can I just ask you as well about, I know you mentioned the volunteers, and I know your speech tonight, I know you want to play very, very big emphasis on them, because they've done all sorts of things to raise money for the Mayo Roscommon Hospice.
Yeah, they are. They're the backbone of the foundation. They're the financial backbone, and they're going for as I say, for 30 years. They swim, they walk, they run, they climb, they shave their heads, they cut their beards, they bake cakes, and of course, coffee mornings are the norm. So things are going on all the time. Every single weekend since the hospice has been formed, there's money being collected by our support groups in both counties. And not forgetting also our shops. And while we have management in our shops, we also have volunteers who help run them. And they're salty earth, and they give up their time freely. And it's for our palliative care services, which are the priority. And we're happy to say we have 2 dedicated hospices, and we have 7-day palliative care services in both counties. And that, in 30 years, is a wonderful achievement. And it's all down, every single piece of this is down to the people of both Roscommon and Mayo.
It's so exciting to be here this evening to mark 30 years of the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation, and what a journey it's been.
Now, I know that you've been involved in it for the last number of years, but you're taking on a new role now in the foundation.
Indeed, Henry. I'm chair of the strategy committee, and this time last year we launched our new strategy, our new 5-year strategy with the then Taoiseach Micheál Martin, and we've got big plans in that strategy, as well as extending our palliative care services throughout the community. We are hoping to build a new facility for children and young adults to help them in their journey through life-limiting illnesses, and yeah, it's very exciting. Unfortunately it's much needed. You know, we've identified at least 90 families at the moment from Donegal to Galway who require supports at different stages, and we feel there's a gap there at the moment, and particularly in the west and northwest. Our ambition in the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation is to ensure that there's a seamless provision of supports for all people at all ages suffering with life-limiting illnesses and living with life-limiting illnesses.
Seamus, great to see you here in the Mansion House in Dublin. I know you got involved with the Hospice Foundation through one of the founding members.
That's correct. The late Dr. Bert Farrell, who was one of the founding members, asked me to join after I retired in 2014. So I took a little bit of time to think about it. I'd been involved in 2 other cancer charities at the time, and he came back to me and I said, yeah, I will. So I joined, and I have no regrets. It's a wonderful organisation. The work they have done over the last 30 years is outstanding, and it's fantastic tonight to be able to celebrate that and acknowledge the work that has been done over the last 30 years, not just at the present day, but over the last 30 years. And all the people who have been involved with the hospice, be it board members, which I'm a member of the board, obviously all the volunteers over the years, all the staff who provide the frontline services, and the actual staff of the hospice themselves. Fantastic. It's such a wonderful asset for the county of Mayo and the county of Roscommon. Long overdue, but fantastic to have it.
And you've seen it at first hand as well, haven't you, Seamus?
Yes. Unfortunately, I lost my wife 20 years ago. The hospice didn't exist in those days, but in more recent time I lost a sister-in-law, and she was able to avail of the services inside the Castlebar Hospice, which was unbelievable. I'd been on the board for 8 years at the time, or 7 years at the time, and we talked about, you know, what it meant, the dignity in your last days, etc. But when you experience it firsthand, and to see the care and attention and the love that patients get, and how they're at ease and at peace, it just blows your mind away. It really does. And you know, I was aware of what it offered, but to experience it just brought that home, right home to me. And anybody that I've ever spoken to about using the hospice or having to use it, it's an unfortunate situation for any family, but it's a great consolation to them because of the care and the love and the dedication of the staff that their loved one gets in their last days, and they pass over from this world with great dignity, and that's a great consolation to family members. And I can speak about that personally for our family, and it was fantastic.
Mr. Mayor, lovely to see you here at the Mansion House in Dublin for this very, very special occasion.
Thanks very much. I'm delighted to be up here to support the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation, and they've done tremendous work over the last 30 years. It's we've seen the facility in Roscommon was opened, and it's of great service to the community in Roscommon. I know that fantastic facilities in Mayo as well, and I don't think that there's any family that isn't touched by cancer in some way, and the palliative care that's provided to people is exceptional and giving people integrity at the end of life, and it's critically important that that's how people are treated. So I'm delighted to be up here to represent the county and to be here for this event at the Mansion House, and hope that everyone has an enjoyable night. And I hope that the Hospice Foundation continues to receive the support and continues to get the funding from the community to continue with the delivery of the services, and also has the support from the state in that respect as well.
Oh, I have to say, I was particularly lucky. In my tenure, we finally got to build a hospice in Mayo, which we had been saving for years. I got to meet the now President of the United States who turned the sod, and we actually got the hospice open. So it was a fantastic time to be, I suppose, steering the ship that had been launched, 30 years ago now. So it was a great honour to be chair at that time.
Now you stepped down as chairperson, I mentioned there, but you're still very much involved, and I presume you have another role that you do in the foundation.
Well, I'm part of the voluntary board, and we have many meetings, and it's, I guess, keeping the governance and the charity running. So yes, I'm as involved as ever, but the chair is now the wonderful Mike Smith. So in 2019, when Mayo was built, we focused then on Roscommon. And Mike, a great Roscommon man, well known in the GA circles, took over from me there. But of course, we have 12 voluntary members on the board, and we're all working hard to keep this charity doing what it does best.
The story of hospice and how it came about, you were very much to the fore in that.
Yeah, it started off with the Lions clubs in Westport, Castlebar and Ballina, and they came up with the idea and they approached me to be chairman, and it really started from there. That's how we built the team from that point onwards, and that's how we built the medical team, and that's where we started getting the support groups in the villages and towns all through Mayo and Roscommon, and the rest is history.
Carl, 30 years later, arriving here tonight for the special ball, how are you feeling now looking back over those 30 years?
Well, you look back on it with a lot of pride. As I said at another function, when I started off, my hair was black. And it's like, it's a bit like the hospice. It has progressed slowly to being, fully grey. But the hospice, I mean, the progression of the service, what they have actually done, and the way they look after patients and their families is just something to be so proud of. Yes, I am very proud to have been involved with a great team of people to make it a reality.
And you're still involved, Carl?
Well, no, on a much smaller scale altogether. Martina Jennings, the CEO, and her team now, the new team that they have there, the directors, they're great people, and they're full of energy and enthusiasm, and long may it last.
Good, and you're looking forward to tonight?
Oh, of course I am, we'll have a good night. And we might even get out there and do a bit of jiving, you never know.
Lovely, thanks very much.
Thank you.
As the celebrations continue here at the Mansion House in Dublin, and the guests certainly enjoying themselves, and they're also contributing, raising much needed funds for their Hospice Foundation. I would like to congratulate Martina Jennings, the CEO, and indeed all her board, and all the people involved with the foundation, and indeed the volunteers in particular. They made it all possible. So here's to the next 30 years, and if you'd like more information, just contact hospice.ie. You get all the information there. So until next week at the same time, slán go fóill.